What is going on, Mullen fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to give you a quick summary on what is happening with Mullen behind the scenes, what the data points are saying, and where things might be going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So it is up 1.74% today, a little bit more of a tentative sell-off first thing. So I'll give you a good breakdown of what the data points are saying and why that did happen. But over and above that, I think based on the news that did come out yesterday about the Mullen GT and the GTRS, I think that's a fairly good thing. Even though Mullen is paying quite a lot to actually have these and to actually sell them, I think it's fairly good as of right now. We don't necessarily know the selling price for both the GTRS or the GT, but it goes to show on Mullen's website, they already did open reservations, and I think that's a pretty positive thing. So again, a lot of people are very much negative on this because unfortunately, when it comes down to this attribute, there most likely is going to be a good circumstance that Mullen and David does get a little bit more additional money based on the delivery milestones. And of course, one of which is right here, point number 3 about the Dragonfly RS being produced and at least certified by August of 2024. So most likely, given the circumstances of the news that did come out, that's going to be another milestone that he does get. But in general, I think that's what's floating around. Other than that, there is no news, no SEC filings, nothing for Mullen, so it's kind of just stagnant. On a side note, if you're looking for a 7-day free trial of Seeking Alpha, link in the description below. But like I said, when it comes down to it though, I just want to give you a good breakdown of what is in fact happening with Mullen. Starting off with shorts, because I think right now you can't really talk about either positive or negatives with Mullen without touching on shorts. So short score is currently 72. Utilization is 100%, and right now shorts are increasing 4.81 million shares. And of course, as I've said in previous updates, you can already tell based on this how the teal line just goes up straight away. That does match with basically what happened on the intraday chart, how basically it went down very first thing, and of course they're starting to return a little bit more shares right now. That's why it's going back up. But everything to do with Mullen right now is just linked one way or another to shorts, and it does suck. But 12.26% is the short interest, which is a percentage of the free float. 231.16 million shares overall being shorted. Cost of borrow is kind of still staying stagnant at around 14%, give or take. But I think with the Fed's decision rate coming out tomorrow, that could be a very good squeezable action that might come out, especially if it is a very positive surprise and they don't raise the rates and they keep it unchanged. Then a lot of stocks such as Mullen that are extremely undervalued, because looking at stochastic, it is at 9. A lot of these stocks would just go up very, very fast. My own opinion, of course. I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. I'm just throwing a bunch of stats at you guys. You guys interpret that how you see fit. Momentum number retail investors are getting in today, so I think a lot of people are just very much appreciating the positive momentum in the market as of right now. But even though it is up 2.13 or 2.19%, still though, you have to look at some of the technicals as far as fib levels. So 15 cents, that is a very big resistance that you do have to watch for. So even though things are looking fairly good today, and even if there is positive data coming out tomorrow, then you still have to watch for that 15-cent range, because it could very much just bounce off of that and trend lower once again just to consolidate. But there's a lot of different circumstances that could happen. But it was a nice change of events to see that buying was continuing yesterday after hours. So you do see roughly around 6 or 5 transactions that did occur yesterday, and this is on the secondary market, which typically secondary market is a little bit lower volume, and because this is set for typical retail investors. As far as the dark pool, I'll give you guys a quick breakdown on that. As far as that, there's been no transactions since the 17th, but keep in mind that is over $100,000. So the last big one was 1.85 million on the 17th. So I think behind the scenes over the last couple of days on the secondary market, or at least trading days, institutions have been accumulating Mullen. And when it comes down to options, once again, I think this is more of a reoccurring thing I always say, is just a lot of calls being purchased, insinuating upside is coming. Obviously, these big outliers right here are very much linked to shorting, so most likely it's just shorts that are kind of increase their position and then they immediately hedge through options. So I think in general that is still continuing to happen, but of course, that goes to show that behind the scenes, shorts don't necessarily know what might be coming for Mullen, and that potentially it could go up any time. So I think that's a little bit more of a bigger picture that you need to realize. But generally speaking, like I said, as long as it can actually get over that 15-cent range right here, then things should look fairly good. But of course, like I've said in previous videos, you have to look at the sentiment as well. So the updated Morningstar report does also show the fair market value for Mullen is around 29 cents. So that did go down from 35 cents if I remember correctly. But the social sentiment has been and is very positive because of this news. But as you can tell, on a broader sense, there's been plenty of negativity over the last little bit. So definitely Mullen needs to follow through with some of their commitments to really motivate more retail investors to potentially get in, or potentially as well institutions, bigger money. But like I said, as of right now, people are very much liking these two things right now. So let me know your thoughts on that. Do you like the Mullen GT and the RS, or do you think this is just more China reproduced things? Because a lot of these packages, based on the 8K that did come out, Mullen does have to buy a lot of the packages to kind of build all the components for this. So a lot of which is just going to be China products and things like that. So some people don't necessarily like that, but again, I'll leave it to you guys to make that determination. Without further ado, appreciate you guys watching. If you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, there is a good promo only up until March 31st, and that is with moomoo. All you have to do, open up an account and get one free stock, and each stock is valued up to $2,000. Link in the description below and also the comments. And without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Mullen.